Likes you better with glasses.
Too bad. I like me better without them.
Hey, pretty fans! Welcome to another episode of the Better with Glasses podcast. I am your host, Vicky Bazzalia, and with me, as always, is Casey.
Hey, hey.
And we are doing a bonus episode today.
Yeah, I guess
Bonus?
you could say bonus. It's just an episode,
But it's definitely a bonus episode because it is adjacent to the summer I turned pretty.
Sure.
So would you like to tell everybody what we're talking about today?
Me and Milady were up in New York City this past weekend. A
Yeah.
lot of fun stuff going on. Baseball games, Broadway shows, shopping, eating, you name it, we were doing it, right? And the Broadway show we went to,
Off-Broadway.
Off-Broadway. I wouldn't quite say off-Broadway,
It's
but
still
it was
it's
off-Broadway.
called Off-Broadway. It's not
Um,
like at the Gershwin Theater.
I don't remember the address. So this show we happened to see, completely random,
Oh,
had
was it
Chris
what
Briney in it.
was it random?
Completely.
Were we just wandering New York and we were like, oh, hey, Chris Briney happens to be in a play.
Leading up to the show,
Yeah,
people were asking me like what I told them we're going to see a show.
yeah.
And I'm like
Well,
I don't remember. I didn't want to get into it. I'm like, I don't
Casey,
remember the name. Vicky knows the name. Because I'm like, no one's gonna know this second night of this random show.
Casey never takes time off, number one. So
Right.
he was telling everyone that he was going on a trip and it was to New York and everyone was very excited. So to the point where we go to one of your work events and they're
Mhm.
like, he won't tell us what show you guys are seeing. Do you know the show? I'm like, of course I know the show.
It's
And
off Broadway.
it's not off Broadway. It is off Broadway, and we're gonna review it. We're gonna recap it. It was a fantastic show. But when I was telling my people about it, I basically just said, "Oh, so you know one of the main characters in my favorite show, The Summer I Turned Pretty?" And they're like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Well, one of the actors is actually right now doing a run off Broadway up in New York on a new play. So we're going." Now,
Well,
all
that is easier to sell in that package.
right. I mean, well, that's the truth.
Right.
So we did happen to, the pretties were kind of following along. So we got up there Friday and we posted a bunch of like cool Mets baseball game stuff. And I was like, tonight is one for Casey because we went to the show on Saturday night. So just a little heads up to everybody. There are a number of the Summer I Turned Pretty fans who have messaged and said that they're also planning on going to see Dilaria. But worth noting that we went to go see the previews, and I'm not like a huge Broadway buff, so I didn't quite know what that means. Dilaria did a good job posting about what that actually meant, but it's like the beginning of the play, it's the run up, it's kind of like live rehearsals in front of an audience because opening night is actually tomorrow night. So we're recording this on, yeah, so we're recording this on Tuesday, June 17th, and June 18th is opening night.
This is a New York City coffee cup, the Starbucks collection.
Casey's very excited about that. All right. So I guess on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you about your coffee cup?
I'm excited about the collection that I'm growing.
Okay.
You know the three cities that we have? That's a test of my interests here.
Of your interest, the
What
three
three Starbucks cities cups do we have?
Seattle, New York, and Pittsburgh?
Orlando, but Pittsburgh.
Oh,
We'll be
Orlando.
there in a few weeks. I hope they have one.
Okay.
All right,
So
I'll stop. We'll get to the point.
piggybacking off of that,
Okay, yeah, piggybacking off of this.
on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you about your coffee cup?
You know, 10 on the cup, the coffee that I made is about a 7. A
On,
little
s-
too strong.
on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited were you that I got to get a picture with Chris Briney?
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
Well, there's a couple of reasons why. Let me drop
What's-
this little nugget here.
Okay.
Let me just say I've met Chris Briney one time before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to elaborate on it.
Mm-hmm. He did not remember you.
And I'm happy about that.
Yeah. So
I, if you if you want to nitpick here,
Yeah.
I could have said some things that would have triggered the memory, I think,
Yeah.
but I wasn't going for that.
Yeah.
No.
So, and I don't, and we're not, well, we are trying to be cryptic on purpose, but this has nothing to do with like a secret relationship between Casey and Chris. Like Chris Briney and Casey are not by any means boys, right? Like
No, but
in case that Chris ever watches or listens to this,
we're
like
working towards it.
we're not saying that they are best
We're
friends.
working towards it. Okay.
Okay.
So excitement level for the picture.
Yes.
I think I am really good in those situations.
Okay, so no lie, Casey is very good in those situations. You don't appear to me to be a big fangirler. Not that you're a girl, but I'm just using that as a turn of
Right.
phrase. You usually keep it pretty cool. There are certain people that you would meet that I think you would be like, oh my gosh, but otherwise you're pretty good about it. And you've also gotten very used to, hun. You've gotten very used to the whole hey, can my wife get a picture with you? So that I don't have to look like the one asking. It's a very innocent, like, hey, can I take a picture of you with my wife? Like, it's a cool, it's a cool
Yeah.
ask. Yeah.
In a very specific way, how you should approach these people.
Yeah.
I don't want to appear, I want to put myself in the human shoes. And I
Yeah.
don't want anyone to feel bombarded and bum rushed and all those things.
Yeah.
So I always like to wait for the perfect moment
Mm-hmm.
when the crowd has died down.
Yeah.
I think they'll appreciate that because think about it from your own, not nearly on Chris Briney's level, but we both go are in scenarios sometimes where people do want to talk to us.
Sure.
And when there's 15 people, the anxiety builds a little bit.
Sure.
When it's two people, it's less.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's some appreciation to that.
Yeah. And oh, but that's not like oh, we're famous people want to talk to us. We're like we host events and stuff like that for our normal
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
day-to-day
yeah, yeah,
jobs. Yeah.
for sure.
Okay.
Um,
Well, you have to work the crowd. You have to work the crowd a little bit.
I do a lot of room working.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, so there's a lot of ways we can take this podcast.
I'm going.
We're kind of going into the after show events. Do you want to pull it back and just talk about the show? Like, how do you want to do
Let
this?
me finish my excitement level.
Okay.
So, one, it's kind of a fun game to like, how are we going to approach this and how are we going to succeed while keeping our cool?
Yeah.
Because
I think
I'm always trying to protect my coolness.
I have also been around like that wasn't necessarily my first interaction with Chris. So, I don't post about it. So some people were like, "Oh my gosh, you got to meet him. Were you nervous?" Like, and all this stuff. And I'm like, I wasn't really like the anticipation of walking up to someone famous and asking them for something is a little bit odd. But like the actual being around him and meeting him, like that part was pretty just chill and cool. And I think I was pretty cool about it.
Super cool. So excited for that to kind of play the game.
Yeah.
Excited for the fact that I know you would get a lot of interaction on better classes.
Oh,
I knew it would be a great conversation topic.
yeah.
And it's just like at the end of the day, it is your favorite show and the character that
Right.
you like in your favorite show. It's like if we met Dak Prescott, he's the
He's the
best player
face
on a
of,
favorite team.
right.
Like,
In an era that we watch together, and it's
yeah,
a big deal. Yeah.
it's a big deal.
Yeah.
So even if like I see these like some of my favorite musical artists aren't like Taylor Swift, but still like having these interactions with them means just as much to me as a Taylor Swift fan meeting Taylor Swift.
Sure.
You know?
Okay. That's
So
fair.
okay, so
That's
there's
fair.
that. And
Oh,
engaging with famous people or like
yeah.
that around there. Don't ask a question that they get a million times.
Mm,
Unique questions.
yeah.
So if you were going to meet Tom Cruise,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't ask him about Top Gun. I would say, "Hey, I really loved,
You in,
Cocktail.
yeah,
Like some like Tom Hanks. I really love a
right.
hologram for a king, and so it's like because it will first of all make you stick out because
Yeah,
it's not a question they're getting all the time.
yeah,
They're Tom Hanks is getting Forrest Gump all the time and
yeah,
all these whatever. So it takes them back a little bit,
yeah.
makes you stick out, and you'll probably get a good answer.
And it might prompt a question back,
Facts,
right? So,
facts.
well, I was going to say that was so nice. And it's not like I was sitting there plotting this all out in my head, but yes, when I met him, I could have said like, "Oh, I'm a really big fan." That's generic, and but it's harmless. There's also like, "Oh, I love you in the summer I turn pretty." There's that. Okay, which is factually correct, but I wasn't going to say that. We're going to talk about the show, but he came off of such an impressive performance to me in a brand new format. What's the word I'm looking for?
Yeah.
Like
So
like he doing this show is also like a little fish out of water. There's like, especially in previews, there's like a little bit of nerves that go into it. So I was honestly just so impressed with his performance and the delivery and the show in general that all of that was very, very genuine that I could just literally be like, "Hey man, like you killed it." Like
and I think there's some
it
like,
was great because he knows he's Conrad Fisher. You know what I mean? Like nobody needs to
but
tell
this is
him.
separate, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
And like
Yeah.
even at Chris's level, like there's still some give back of like, hey, I'm really appreciative that you came to this show that is not like what I'm known for, and it's kind of me taking a risk, and like
Right.
that people are liking it probably means something.
So cool.
Yeah.
So cool. Yeah. So we already kind of went into it. Do you want to keep going on it
Okay.
or
So we saw the show.
yeah.
We get there.
Yeah.
Um, we were like shopping during the day. It was raining. We had dinner like near the theater.
Yep.
We went to this cool bar prior.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was High Notes or something like that.
It was something
It
like
was
that.
super basic though, like classic bar,
Yeah.
Yankees game
It's,
on.
it's on the side of
Smash
what's the theater that you
Irving Plaza. Right next to
Irving Plaza Theater or
Irving
whatever it
Plaza
is.
is.
Okay.
Remember, we saw Fall Out Boy at Irving Plaza when I was like in like 2007 or 2006
Yeah.
on their way up.
Yeah.
So it's like small theater. Anyway,
Yeah.
we used to go to New York City. I used to go to concerts in New York City all the time when I was in high school
Yeah.
because it was only like an hour and change from there.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we went there, had some drinks, had some dinner, then got to the theater about a half hour early. Super small theater. Like there's this line for this band that's at Irving Plaza that's literally wrapped around the block, and
Yeah.
like we have to like basically wedge ourselves through this line to get to the door to go to Dilaria where there's no line. And
There's no line. We're like the first ones there. We walk in. Everyone's super
like,
cool. They're
where's
just
the
like,
concession stand? It's like, oh, downstairs to the right. You go downstairs. It's literally the concession stand for the neighboring theater that has nothing to do with Delaria. It's some Broadway show about Titanic called Titanic. And there's like the drink that they gave us was in a Titanic cup.
right.
And it was like cardboard cutouts of
Yeah.
Titanic people. And it's like, okay, and they share one concession stand, but this has nothing to do with Delaria.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, shout out though, they did have Sour Patch Kids.
I got them.
So of course they're like, ah, nothing better than watching Conrad Fisher, aka Noah,
So we go into
while
the
eating Sour
theater.
Patch Kids.
We're the first two people in there. Go in, ba ba ba. There's a dude with a notepad in the row behind us. So it's like, okay, that's a critic. Clocked it.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know who we wrote for, but People Magazine did release a review like
Yeah.
2 days ago. So
Yeah.
he might have been from People Magazine.
Yeah.
And
There
then,
were a lot of
oh fuck,
yeah.
check, check.
Yeah.
Before we walk in, we're seeing there's like a group of two that comes in, another group of two, and then a third group of two comes in. And I am not giving I'm giving myself credit, but I'm not like saying I'm the best. But this girl walks in with another girl,
Yep.
and I'm like, oh look, it's that actress who's in the show.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Um Zoe
Right, but what's her
de
name?
Grand Maison is her name.
What's her name in
Agnes.
She's so I only go as Agnes in The Summer I Turned Pretty.
Yeah.
And I'm like
I
kind of joking.
I said that.
No, I said
Oh,
that.
you said that.
Yeah.
You were joking.
I was
And
like,
then I
it's just a
turned.
redheaded girl. And we're like thinking like, hey, we'll probably see Jenny here because Jenny was in New York
She was in the
City and it's
protest,
like
the No Kings
bad.
thing.
So
Yeah.
we were joking like, hey, we'll see Jenny there.
Yeah.
We don't see Jenny there, but we see Agnes come in. We're like, oh shit, look,
So
there's
at
Agnes.
first, yeah, you were just kidding. And then I think we were sitting in the row right behind her, and we didn't say hi or anything, but I was like, oh, it is her. Like, for sure, it is her. And it's so funny because it's right on the heels of she was at the trailer premiere. It's on the heels 2 days before they were doing the Summer I Turned Pretty trailer where you didn't know she was playing, like, you knew she was in it, but you didn't know she was playing Agnes until that trailer came out. And then we're like, oh my gosh, like, that's like everyone's favorite not meme, but on TikTok, there's a whole bunch of
Tickety
like,
talk?
yeah, there's a whole bunch of like, have you ever been in love? And
Oh
like,
shit.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So anyway, she was there.
So
That
she
was
was
great.
there sitting in the row in front of us. I think a couple other people come with their notebooks. Also, critics showing. It's definitely like a preview, friends and family type thing kind of feel.
Hmm.
Some other girl comes and Vicky's like, I think that's the writer who we may have on the podcast. Julia
Randall,
Randall, very nice lady,
very nice,
very young.
very young. Like,
So what a
so,
talent she is, man.
oh my gosh, we're gonna break all that down. But she just there's the show, there's the acting, but then there's the writing of it, and she, incredible,
That
absolutely incredible.
so then comes in someone who is friends with all the critics and
Just like knows
knows
everyone. Like you
everyone.
know that person who just like walks into a room and is like high-fiving and hugging everyone. We're like, who is that?
Turns out it's Tommy Dorfman, famous
Tommy Dorfman,
from
famous
13
actress.
Reasons Why. Yeah.
13
Uh,
Reasons Why. Played, I think it was Ryan in 13 Reasons Why, but love that show.
so without any warning, bam, lights go down, show starts. I think there's 99 seats in the place. Probably 90 of them were full.
90 of them were full.
It
Yeah.
was pretty full.
Yeah.
Um, and then the show kicks off, and it's like there's this young girl right in front of us with her mom,
It
and
was
like
so cute. She was I'm not gonna
I'd say she's Team Conrad.
I think she was there
Right.
because of Team Conrad, and her mom was super sweet. And I helped them, like, they were trying to take a selfie of them in the stage, and I took a picture of them for them, and it was super sweet. But then I was like, so I was watching the show, obviously, and it was extremely funny right out of the
Also
gate.
extremely R-rated.
Also, very R-rated, vulgar,
Mhm.
like, just topically vulgar. It's very, very dark satire and comedy.
Yeah.
And it's not cringy in the like it's cringy in the like the discomfort of
I think
like
it's
the
cringy in like the looking back on your 20s phase and like knowing that
how
there are
hard it is and like
so many of these people that exist and it's
yeah,
spot on. Like
yeah. So we'll break down what it's all about and things like that. No spoilers, but
I would say what it's about
yeah.
is a girl who has a friend who she kind of tramples all over. It's kind of like her number two. It's like if the popular girl from Mean Girls and her little sidekick.
Yeah.
So they're
Like a super narcissistic like so there's things to praise about the character, there's things obviously to not praise about the character,
I
but
mean,
like
I wouldn't say there's anything to not praise about it. She's obviously going for the comedy of her fucked upness.
yeah, but like to obviously to mask other deep-seated insecurities, which we may or may not get to by the end of the play.
Yeah.
But there's like a self-awareness that's sort of lacking. There's,
But it's a straight comedy. Like this is a straight comedy. Like
yeah,
when you're watching a comedy, I feel like you can't take the any of the storylines too seriously.
yeah,
You know, like if you're like in Pineapple Express, like they commit violent acts of
yeah,
assault, but they're not. I wouldn't say they're
bad
bad people.
people.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Yeah.
like this is a comedy.
Right.
They are doing fucked up shit, but it's like the laughs start immediately,
Yeah.
and you're on a roller coaster ride of it's like laugh, 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 laugh. There's no
Yeah.
like it doesn't like get serious for a minute. It's
Yeah.
lasts throughout.
There's like a point where you think it's starting to get serious because you think Dilaria is like having this breakthrough and it's like nope, right back to the insanity. And it was perfect. I was not bored a single second of it.
No way.
It went from 0 to 100 like within the first.
All in one setting.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, there's
Changes.
no scene changes. There are costume changes and whatnot. But yeah,
It's all in one
it was
bedroom.
great.
And all I could think throughout it was whoever wrote this it's so hard to write comedy, first of all. And this girl, like, the script got like 150 laughs. So, like, it's a lot of jokes.
It was throughout.
Yeah.
Like it
So,
was one of those where like there wasn't a lot of quietness in general. Like it was like as lines came out of their mouths, it was just like it was funny. It was so
I'm
funny.
not an expert on like Broadway, but I would say that this translates to something bigger. I
Hmm.
said, I said screen, probably. Like, if not, it's gonna write a film, write a TV show, something. She's a very talented
Talking
writer.
about Julia Randall.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And the casting was great. Ella Stiller, like, I don't know,
Give the backstory on who Ella Stiller is.
Ben Stiller's daughter and Christine Taylor's daughter. Shout out, Hey Dude, 90s classic Nickelodeon show. I don't know what she's done. She's done some Broadway stuff, but it's obvious that whenever she's ready to take like on her own Hulu show, her own lead movie role, whatever that is, she's like getting her chops ahead of time. She's not half-assing any of this shit because
Well,
she's a straight killer. And whenever she does get her like ready to jump into something mainstream,
when
it's gonna be a hit.
she graduated from Juilliard, she is the daughter of famous actors.
And the Stillers are a long line of
Yeah, no,
entertainment.
which carries with it a certain level of weight. In the People article, she actually said that she was going through a tough spell because she was like auditioning a lot and she was reading a lot and she was taping a lot and she wasn't getting anything back. And then this came across her desk and she got it immediately and she was just so happy. So Ella Stiller. Then we have
The girl from Cruel Summer.
Chiara. Yeah.
She's
Um,
my favorite character.
She plays Georgia, who
Yeah.
is the best friend of Dilaria, and she was my favorite character
And she's in that show, Cruel Summer, which we watched already.
too.
She's a
She
killer.
was so young in that show, but it's a similar. It's not a. It's kind of like a. She's the sidekick in that one too, right? Like she kind of plays the straight-ish edge
She
person
turns pretty.
who, yeah, who like ends up being friends with this other person who's a little bit insane and psychotic and crazy in some of the best and worst ways. So similar lane for sure. And then we have Noah, which they were making fun of that the entire lead up in like the socials and stuff. And I didn't get it. So you have to like watch it to get it. Why his name isn't Noah, but instead Noah, but it is Noah. And that is played by Chris Briney,
And he did very well.
who, for lack of better term, is the sort of boyfriend slash fuck buddy of Dilaria.
Yeah.
And that creates the trio.
Yeah. Chris
Yeah.
is good. Like, again, this is another like stacking on top for Chris of like expanding the bullets in his chamber and his tool belt.
Yeah.
You're up there, no net, doing comedy, bam. Like,
Yeah.
he did good. He did good, and
What
he's
was
certainly getting ready to go into
the next thing?
like lead a film type shit.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you would think that he could lead a
I would
film at some
love to
point.
see him lead a film.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Go, Chris. What was your favorite part of the play?
Georgia, what's her name? Cruel Summer Girl,
Chara?
Chara. Cruel Summer Girl. Right away, you're like, I thought it was interesting to see her on stage because you only really seen her on television, and it's like, oh shit, she's right in front of me.
Yeah. I like seeing Ella Stiller just because there with her name and everything, there comes so much expectation, but she killed it. Like absolutely killed it.
Yeah, she's really good.
Like everything about her. hated and loved her character at the same time, which is exactly what you're going for with a role like that. My favorite character, like you said, was Georgia. If you guys watch the play, you probably know why Georgia's my favorite character. Like, if you think of Taylor and Belly as friends, like, it's kind of like the belly of the relationship. Like, a little bit, just like a little bit more subdued, a little bit more innocent, not as like over the top.
So both of our favorite parts were Chara. Shout
Right.
out Chara.
Yeah. So she was great. And I had the most, like, I guess, empathy for her based on the play itself. Uh,
Rank them 1 to 3.
well, as far as characters, I would probably say I liked Georgia 1, Dilaria 2, and Noah 3rd.
I mean, I think that's the only way that we could do
For
it, but
sure.
it's not a knock on Chris because there's just
Yeah.
the other two girls were like a lot more screen time and a lot more
Right. There was so
shit
much
to
more,
do.
there was so much more shit to do. There was so much more material for them. And that was nice to see. The one thing that I will say is you go to these plays and it's not like BWG Fest, right? And what I mean by that is I'm there and it's like I'm out of my element because I'm not a theater person who goes to off-Broadway shows a lot, nor are you. So we go there, and I'm just kind of like feeling out the crowd. I'm looking around, and I'm like, there's critics here. There's friends of the writer, the producer, the director, probably friends of like
Yep.
friends of the actors
Some of them
themselves.
could have said, "Hey, the Better with Glasses podcasters are here."
Maybe, who knows? But I was sitting there just kind of like looking around, being like, but how many people do we think are here because they're here because Chris Briney's in it?
I'd say
And there has
20%.
20% is fair, right? Because there has to be some pull from that. And it was funny to me. And I can't completely remember if it was in my head or if it was in real life. So maybe you can tell me. But there was a palpable, like, when it starts, again, it goes from 0 to 100, and it's just the two um, actors who play Dilaria and Georgia. So it's two gals to start. So then you're sitting there. It starts with them talking about him, though,
We
right?
don't know.
It's definitely them talking about him. So
I don't know.
you didn't know that, but
Right.
I knew that because they dropped his name and I knew who he was playing and all that stuff. But so they're talking about him. So the entire time you're just kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop because the way that they describe him is like kind of hilarious and slightly problematic. So when you finally meet him, it's one of those things where like the lights, so if you've ever been a part of a play, like the lights dim when it's a single set, the lights dim and then like a new actor just shows up.
It's like time passes.
Yeah, so the lights dim and then you see him walk out and I
And it's like, holy fuck, Justin Bieber's here.
don't so I do think there was a holy fuck moment because I did hear like there was like a slight like almost anticipation or like a slight gasp. And I don't know if that was just in my head, but I was like, there he
I
is.
mean, 20%. I think it's 20% were like there to see Conrad or
Right. But
Chris.
but for me,
Like,
but for me, I was kind of like,
like this isn't
it's
it?
him. It's his shadow. Look, he's good. The lights are gonna come on, and then it's gonna be Chris up there.
Yeah. He
Yeah.
had big Justin Bieber on Instagram vibes. Like,
Can you elaborate?
like
Like the kid
big
turned.
ass jeans, kind of scrubby looking,
It's kind of like a little
unkempt,
unkempt, dingy,
dingy,
like backwards trucker hat,
gigantic jeans, like shirt that
dope Nikes,
cool shoes.
cool shoes.
Like the shirt is like shorter than the pant, like doesn't go over the belt. It was just like certainly a choice. It was like
Yeah.
we're gonna dress you like Justin Bieber.
And he, how would you describe what he plays? He plays
A nice dumb guy.
a really nice dumb guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But because you first meet him introduced by Delaria, who embellishes a lot of it, who kind of like tells things from her own perspective to those who will listen. Like
She's
you
got an
can hear,
agenda.
she's got an agenda. You hear her describe him, and then you meet him and you see him interact with her. And I'm sitting there thinking, like, oh boy, poor this guy.
Yeah.
Like he was just like such a schmuck and like, but really funny. Um, some people were asking me about it, and the one thing that I will say, not that I was afraid that Chris would get typecast, because his first thing out the gate was like Dollyland, and then he became Conrad Fisher and got known for that. Aaron Samuels is a little Conrad Fisher, but
Hmm.
it's just such a small role in a very big movie, Mean Girls. But what I liked most about it and what was refreshing is like he was so not Conrad that a part of me was like when he first was up there, I'm like, oh my God, it's Conrad. And then how he looks and how he's acting and the character itself, like he brought it to life and it was like I was aware that it was him, but I wasn't sitting there being like, oh, well, this person would do it that way or that person would do it that way. Like it was very genuine to the story. And he's funny. Did you think that he was gonna be as funny as he is? Because even
So
because even okay, so Ella in the People article, she made a point to talk about the fact that he's hilarious, like in real life hilarious, because I guess he's like kind of shy and kind of quiet in interviews and stuff like that. He's a goof, like he goofs
so
around with the guys and Lola all the time, but like
yes, I think that he could if there's good lines, if there's good writing,
yeah,
that's the battle.
yeah.
Like and the writing was really, 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 really good.
Yeah, well, what was so interesting is if you think about season 2 of The Summer I Turned Pretty, you said it multiple times, unprovoked, that you were like, man, they gave Conrad, like, or Chris, so much to do in this season.
Yeah, for sure.
He had to be happy for the first time ever. He had to be sad. He had to be angry. He had to be crying. At one point, he
Psycho.
had to be singing with a guitar. He had to be psycho. He
Yep.
had to be stoic and then cry at the end. Like, there was just so much range as an actor that you even saw from him in the second season. And if you go see this play, it's like a whole new different version of Chris that I was like, whoa.
But it's a version that I think he needs to work on and like master
Yeah.
because if he wants it,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
was something that he'll have to do.
Like Zac Efron. What I mean by that is, at first he's just like high school musical,
No, but Zac
like
Efron can fucking act.
heartthrob, right?
Yeah.
And then he goes and does like Neighbors, and you're like, man, this dude can be funny,
Yes.
and kind of like slapstick funny, right? Raunchy comedy funny, which I mean, Dilaria is pretty raunchy, and then you see him go into serious, like big time roles. So
I can see Chris being like a bigger star than he is now. Like I can see him leading a movie,
you said
starting
it.
small, and then like if that works, and if like a lot of this shit happens behind the scenes too. Like this
Yeah,
kid like got it.
yeah,
He's already got the fan base. Like he should be able to open a movie next year,
yeah,
like small budget indie film, release it in the theaters.
yeah,
The pretties are gonna go.
yeah,
So he could open a film right now and like make the film money.
yeah,
But it's like, hey, make sure it's good, make sure it does make that money, make sure the story's good, make sure it looks good in it. And then it's like, okay, now we can take
go.
that and put that in something that's super marketable to the pretties and everyone else. And like that could be the path to like
Yeah,
Miles Teller, like
yeah, right.
he's obviously like challenging himself, which is the fucking best thing that humans can do is
Yeah,
challenge yourself to grow. And he's doing a really tough play right now. That's
yeah,
comedy, and he's doing fucking great. And
yeah. I mean, I was just, and this sounds so lame, but I'm like, I was just so proud
I
of
was so
him.
proud of him. Hell
I was
yeah.
so proud of him.
And I like Chris.
Yeah,
Like, I like all of them.
yeah.
Honestly, I like Gavin. I like Sean. I like Chris. I like
David.
David.
Yeah,
So like, I'm just like rooting for these dudes. They're so New York. They're so young New York, young Hollywood. Gavin's a little bit different, but Gavin,
But
I
they're
got super a lot of. He's like more southern, and like we live in the South, so I can like super respect that and like not envy it, but I'm like I love it.
yeah,
I see what you're doing. It works. Rock on.
yeah. Well, so going back to the after show.
The after show, we met some pretty fans. Shout out my our new friends if you're listening.
Oh yeah.
Super cool that y'all were there and
So,
got your
okay.
book signed.
So let me go through this. So then after the show, a lot of people were kind of asking me like, "Oh, like how did you get a picture with just him and like nobody's in the background and like did you happen to run into him on the streets of New York?" Like, no. After the show, remember these are previews, guys. So after the show, it hasn't fully opened yet. After the show, they just came out. So we were actually there. We were talking to the marketing person. So they were out there filming. They needed like preview stuff, which was great.
Yeah.
So we met them, and we really wanted to talk to Julia,
Right.
right, the writer of it, and just kind of ask
Still
her some
working on it.
questions. Still working on it, but we were kind of waiting for her. She came out, and then Chris came out. He had some friends who must have been there because he came out, beelined it to them, and like they were having a conversation,
Then the girls came out.
and we were just hanging out. Yeah, so we didn't know it was like a thing. I don't even know if you would call it a thing, but then Ella came out,
Mhm.
and Chara came out,
People
and
who
then
were having them sign their
yeah, and then everyone was just kind of having them sign things and whatnot. And I was able to, like, I didn't get a picture with them and I didn't ask them to sign anything because a lot of people wanted to talk to them um, and get pictures and stuff. And I was just like, I got a chance to actually talk to them and just kind of say, like, hey, it was so great. You did such a good job. And like, Ella was so sweet.
Oh yeah.
And Chara, she was just dealing with the whole, like, oh my gosh, I'm such a cruel summer fan type thing. So that was that.
So
But
yeah, then like the Conrad girls
so as we were standing back, he kind of
start to
like
see some TSITP books come out.
like
Oh,
like
okay,
TSIT
cool.
books come out of bags, right?
Yep.
You kind of like you kind of start to see people like, oh, when is my moment? Like, how do I approach it? The same thing we were just talking about, like, but you can almost see their thought bubbles. Like, how do I do this?
Yeah.
And that's why I'm so grateful for my hun here because we were like, okay, like we're just gonna hang back. Like a lot of people want to meet him more than we want to meet him.
Right.
So we're like, let them do their thing. Zoe was there. She was hanging back,
And
obviously.
like yeah, I put myself in his shoes and their shoes and like he makes eye contact with Zoe and is like, I
I
see
see
you
you.
there. Like, let the shit die down. Let me meet the people who are here to see me, and then I'll come chat with you.
Yeah.
So I clock that, and I'm like, I don't like. He has people here
I don't
who
want to make
need
his job harder than it is.
right.
And yeah,
It's like his family and friends are here. Like, don't
exactly. And
you
I've
don't want
also
to disturb that and like delay that. So like,
right.
let this die down,
And
and then just say, hey,
I also didn't want to be selfish because there were fans there of Chris who were like probably freaking out.
mhm,
And like, I'm like, you go meet Chris. Like, you go meet him. And if he's done with everyone else and he's not like tired or sick of it or wants to go home, then we'll meet him, right? Like,
right.
just like very organic. So that's how it played out. But my hun, cool as a cucumber all the time. It's kind of like we walk over, hey, can you take a picture with my wife? And Chris noticed it. So it wasn't just in our heads, but
Right.
he actually said, yeah, of course, thank you. You've been waiting out here.
Thanks for waiting till the end.
Yeah, thanks for waiting till the end, I think is what he said. And like, that was super sweet. And I got to tell him that he did a good job. And of course, Casey was like, go Knicks, because he was wearing his Knicks
And I
cap.
had a Mets hat on.
He had a Mets hat on. And what did he say to you? Something about
Too
like,
bad you're a Mets fan or
yeah, too
something.
bad you're a Mets fan or something like that. So I'm like, ah, funny. Haha. Um,
I got Mets in the National League, Orioles in the American League for any
and
confusion with our fans here.
and Chris Briney certainly knows what you're talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
So that was really nice. You told him he did a great job. You so it's just such a
Can I say something that is like a little bit like I
sure.
think I kind of blacked out a little bit too.
Yeah. Yeah. So you said something like, "Hey, nice work, man," or something like that. It had a man at the end of it, and you like put your hand out to shake his hand. And I remember thinking like, "Oh, that's such like a boy thing to do to just like shake someone's hand. And I'm a financial advisor. Like I meet people all the time and I shake the hands of adults.
Yeah.
In that moment, I was like, Chris is younger than me. I do respect him as an actor, but it wasn't like a bro, like, let me dap you up like you could do. So I was sitting there and Casey shakes his hand and walks off, and I say bye or whatever. And Chris puts out his hand to shake my hand, and I'm like turning away, and then he gets super awkward. Like Chris does his like little awkward thing, and I was like, oh no, Chris, oh don't be awkward. I'll shake your hand. So I turn back around and I shake his hand. But really, in my mind, what I'm thinking is, I'm like, this is where like normally you just hug it out, but I wasn't gonna touch him. So anyway, yeah.
And then we chatted a little bit for later on again because we had
Oh, we went back and asked him
right.
like if the writer was around. So,
So
but everyone was asking like, what's he like, and did you get to talk to him? So we did get to talk to him a little bit, not a lot, but that's not what I was expecting at all. And he's just, you said this, he's just like such a good guy. Like he's just very, very, very nice, very sweet, like
and to be honest with you,
not a prick.
I've met Gavin before. Gavin equally awesome.
Yeah.
Like Gavin is
Is he more golden retriever?
yes, like Gavin
Yeah.
maybe even sweeter.
Yeah.
Conrad, Chris, like Chris is cool.
It's cool.
Yeah,
Chill.
Gavin is golden retriever. Like he's the man. He
Yeah.
is like we talk about like being outgoing. I think that's some of Gavin's personality.
Which is kind of Jer-esque,
Yeah,
right?
sure.
So, yeah, but no, by no means, like sometimes you do meet famous people and they're just like they're having an off night, or sometimes they're just like a little bit of a dick, and he is just very nice,
Yeah, we talk about it.
very very nice and very down to earth, and like you said, um,
Being on all the time
we've
is
met him before,
right.
and still nice.
Yes. Being on can be exhausting.
Oh, like having to turn it on for people all the
Yeah.
time. Yeah,
So like you look at no matter how many times this happens and how many people he meets, like they're sacrificing something for you
yeah,
by doing that.
right.
And I got so much respect for them because yes, they want it, but at the same time, like they have to be on all
But sometimes after doing a play,
exhausted.
you're exhausted and you just want to go home, and it's Saturday night.
Yeah.
So,
But he's got to do this all the time.
oh yeah, I know.
People are filming him all the fucking time.
I know.
Gavin too.
I know.
Lola too. Like all of it. Like
Yeah. So,
like being famous is great. Being famous has its drawbacks,
for sure.
for sure.
So, um, anything else you want
Um,
to know or say?
I think that eventually when seasons are over, we will get the main cast on the podcast.
Oh boy,
Yeah, for sure. I mean, like
that would
at
be
this
cool.
point, it's impossible. NDAs, all this stuff, like impossible to get these guys on the podcast, but by no means do I think they're out of like it's too crazy.
Yeah,
I think in the future, when the show has wrapped up, we could certainly get some people on the show, and that's how we'll keep the show living, I think. You know,
yeah.
I think that's a good idea.
Okay. Um, I'm trying to look through any like sticker questions that we had. So, is Chris down to earth? Yes.
Yes,
How did you meet him? Uh, After the show?
like
Easy.
happenstance.
Yeah. Did Casey take the picture? Yes.
Yes,
Did Casey get a picture too?
no,
No.
not my style. But here's a question.
Yeah.
You know when I would take a picture?
When you would take a
You
picture
know when I would?
with someone?
Yeah,
Okay.
let me ask you what if you know me enough.
Like who you would take a picture with?
Well, no, like in certain situations, how when would I be like, hey, let's get a selfie?
I don't know.
I think the only time I would do it is if you weren't with me and I needed to prove that I saw this person. Like if I saw Chris walking his dog outside.
No, but that would be like, hey, can I get a picture with you? My wife will never believe it.
Exactly. That's exactly what I would do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
in that instance, I'd be like, and you'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's true.
Oh
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, I'm not like a I hate the selfie thing. I hate the idea of it. I hate the idea of being like, "Hey, can I get a selfie with you?" And like me put up my phone close up like we're best friends. I'm like, I'm not about that. I would rather have Casey there to get pictures of me and famous people. But
Yeah, it's a good entryway.
yeah. But one
But
last question that did get asked is why do you think Chris did the show? I ha like this play, I have my reasons.
I think I said mine, right? Like I think he wants to grow
Hmm.
as an actor.
Hmm.
I think he's got big dreams,
Hmm.
which I love.
Hmm.
And this is out of his comfort zone and he wants to get better at his craft.
Cool.
Fucking love it, man.
I would say I piggyback off of your reasons, but I would say like two very specific reasons. We saw Lola do this with Hades Sound, but I think that Broadway or plays or a quick like off-Broadway play allows for actors to do something different, get a break from the regular, but it's also like a stint. So it's a perfect project to do in between or leading up to things. So Lola was able to kind of get it in there in between writer's strike and filming for season two.
It introduces you to a new audience, first of all. So
Yeah.
like these people, these critics may never watch The Summer I Turned Pretty. These theater people may never watch The Summer I Turned Pretty. Introduces you to a new audience. And those people, the back channels, networks, Broadway people could have connections all over. So
Yeah.
makes sense. Um, it's a way for him to stay sharp,
Mm-hmm.
sharpen new tools,
Yep.
all this thing.
The other thing that I think is that at least the comedy and the tenor and the like beats of this character, maybe in some ways like he thought it was fun to play because it's no secret that like when the Summer I Turned Pretty cast is doing interviews and stuff,
Hmm.
who's the one who's always accidentally like saying something off the cuff or dropping the F-bomb? Like it's almost always Chris. And like this character is written rough around the edges, like comes out just like saying crazy stuff and definitely not buttoned up like a Conrad Fisher. And it's definitely more adult content. Um, and I think that it's just fun to play. It's the same reason that he decided to read an audio, not audio book, but like a book that was audio only, where he played like a psycho serial killer, which
Oh
was
yeah,
also really cool. So just
gotta pay the bills too,
just like it's
obviously,
just like a different type of character,
for sure.
um, to prove that he's got it like that.
Um, this coming week we got some other fun stuff
Do
related to
we?
Better with Glasses Fest. Yes, we're gonna be filming a commercial.
We are going to be filming a
Yeah,
commercial.
for Better with Glasses Fest. So we really hope that y'all are considering coming. We have sold some tickets, but there's still more out there. So
So I know a bunch of people who are probably like planning their trips or trying to arrange things. I would say if you have the ability to at least RSVP or reserve tickets on Eventbrite, we're getting down to like 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks till. So we're trying to figure out goodie bags and reservations and just like head count type stuff. So if you know you're coming, let us know. Even if you're still hashing out the details, like we'd love to know if you are kind of ancillary and might be popping through, maybe just like for the free events, meet and greets, do that too. Those are all free to reserve on Eventbrite. Again, we just ask that you do it as a formality just so we know like what we're expecting.
right.
Yeah.
At Better with Glasses Pod on Instagram. Vicky, of course, holding that down. Better with Glasses Pod at gmail.com. Questions, comments, concerns. Love you guys. All the new fans out there, thank you so much. Let me give us some love to the Patreons,
Oh, yes.
new Patreons.
Yep.
Nadine, Becca, Jillian, Steph, Ingrid, Amanda, Shannon, Laurel, Sierra, Sarah, Chloe, Carol. That's my mom's name. Rochelle, Emily, Sarah, Emily, Lisa, Nina, Jada, Carissa, Lauren, Mel, AP, and Taylor.
Those are the Patreons.
Patreon.
You guys are holding it
Yeah,
down.
love you all.
Thank you so
Love
much.
anyone who listens. Our new friends that we met at Dilaria. I hope you listen to the episode. Welcome to the universe. Um, really great meeting you guys.
All right. So as we log off, two things that we're celebrating. Number one, if you have the means, if you can get out there, go check out Chris Briney and Ella and Chiara in Dilaria. It's a great play, great writing, and I would go watch it again even if Chris wasn't playing Noah.
Right.
And good luck to that cast and everything that's coming their way. They have their official opening of the play tomorrow night.
Yep.
And also, happy 3-year anniversary to The Summer I Turned Pretty. So, 3 years ago, today is when season 1, episode 1 of The Summer I Turned Pretty dropped. And in the words of Belly Conklin, that was the summer that everything changed. Okay. Thanks everyone for listening, and we'll see you next time.